Total $7,265.30. 7 owners and 21 renters.
Have a motion.
Make a motion. Second.
Give me some other motion for a second.
Fred Ellis. Roger Lawson.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes. Kenny White.
Yes.
Gordon Wilkins.
Yes.
Ed Williams.
Next one is to discuss approve the sale of Ellis vacancy.
Sorry.
For the right.
For the right.
Ellis Rouse.
This is on page 31 of the board packet. We got write-offs for this quarter in the amount of $12,692.65. Asking the board's approval to write that off.
Second.
Motion second. Hello.
Roger Lawson.
Yes.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gordon Wilkins.
Yes.
Ed Williams. Fred Ellis.
Yes. Next is discuss approve the pending Ellis job vacancy.
We had a cashier turn in her notice a few weeks ago, and I'm asking the board's approval to fill that vacancy.
Second.
Motion second.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gordon Wilkins.
Yes.
Ed Williams. Fred Ellis. Roger Lawson.
Now we got broadband.
Yeah, this will just be a quick update. Had a good month this past month. We're at 4,753 subscribers. That's an increase of 528 since our last board meeting. So that's probably the biggest increase we've had since we've been doing this project. So it's been a very good month for us. Today was actually the day we opened up our last cabinet in South Parsons, with the exception of one. That's due to a construction issue at an apartment complex. And today we also started opening up cabinets in the Parsons OLT. So Parsons is our last area to open. Once we finish out Parsons, we'll have our entire system fully available for service. It should take us until probably end of July, early August to finish out Parsons. So looking good there. Mainline construction, we met with our mainline contractors. This is a few weeks ago. They said about 6 to 8 weeks they should be out of here. So that would include them installing all the mainline cable and poles, all the splicing, and all the necessary hardware with that. So 6 to 8 weeks, the mainline contractors will be gone, and end of July, early August, our system will be entirely up and running. So, yep, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
How many customers looking at?
4,753.
What was our break-even number we talked some?
I think it's around 6,500. Yeah,
Projected, I know.
that was
Original projection.
that's the 30% take rate number, and that's what the business plan was built off of. I'll entertain any questions the board has about the project, if you got any. Okay. There's one more, the Maxie Jones property.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You gonna discuss that?
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Okay.
So I'll go over the timeline, events, conversations, whatever you want to call it, that led up to this. So, and this is all in your board packet as well. So this starts on page 37.
Can I stop right here?
Sure.
Mr. Jones here now?
Yes.
But the mayor asked me, and I hate to ask this, he wanted to know if we could put this off till the May. So we have a call meeting. We on May the 8th.
I'll be out of town.
Got that?
Next week. No.
8th of May.
Yes.
Okay.
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 There you go. Thanks, Rick.
So on page 37, this is where it starts. In 2017, an engineering firm called A2H reached out to us. They sent us a print that shows 108 lots to be developed on Maxie's property. Through email conversations, the LES team, we basically let the engineering firm know that our distribution line that serves this area is limited capacity and it would not be able to support a 108 lot subdivision on the property. So to be able to proceed with it, we would need to do some pretty significant upgrades to the line, and that would require a deconstruction payment for that to be done. So after that conversation, no action was taken. We'll move forward a few years to July of 2020. This is the last records I have of a conversation we'd had with Mr. Maxie Jones. He inquired about building a house on the property towards the end of the property near the river. So at his request, we came up with a proposal to build a line through his property to the house he was talking about building. In tandem with that, we also drafted a agreement that basically we were trying to get him to acknowledge that the line we built through the property is not designed to serve a multi-lot development. It's designed to serve one house. After we sent him those agreements and proposal, no action was taken. So we'll fast forward a few more years to 2024. I received some word from our staff that said they noticed there was some construction that consisted of road construction, dirt work, things like that on the property. So on page 47 and 48, you'll see screenshots from Tennessee Property Bureau that shows Mr. Maxie Jones' property. It's about 600 acres. It's got roads built into it with cul-de-sacs. So that tells me there's intention to develop it into a subdivision. So following that, in April of 2024, Maxie approached me and I talked to him directly over the phone about he wanted to talk about building a house on the end of the property again. So I updated the proposal with those numbers at the time, updated the agreement, and again, no action was taken. So I'll also note that this was about the time that former manager Graves retired and then I took over. So that's what led up to this. I'll also make mention that this particular circuit, we're talking about limited capacity on the circuit. So over the past several years, we've had what I'll call creeping issues with the circuit. So basically they start out as very small issues that we can manage. Over time, they increasingly get a little bit worse, and a little bit worse, and a little bit worse. Well, this was last year around the 4th of July. We did see more significant issues where the voltage dropped below what we would call the usable threshold in certain areas. And it took quite a bit amount of work to get it stabilized and get it back to a usable level again. So given that, I made the decision in the past few months to upgrade that line. I started at the substation. We upgraded about 3 miles of the distribution line. That should put us in a good position to handle the expected load this summer and the next summers. But I'll state that those upgrades cannot take into account what Maxie Jones is wanting to do on his property. We'll need to do additional upgrades to support that load. So I just wanted to clarify that. So I'll say this, my recommendation to move forward, we need to know what the intention is with the property. At this point, we've been told 3 different scenarios. One will be that he subdivides it into 108 lots. Another being that he would like to build a house on the property, and the other being that he would like to sell the property to a developer. So we really need to know exactly what the plan is on the property so we can plan accordingly. If the ultimate goal is to subdivide the property, we need to see an updated set of prints from the engineering firm so we can plan accordingly. Typically what we do is anytime somebody requests to build a subdivision or anything like that, we would like to see those prints. And then we typically require them to survey the lots and mark the lots so that we can design our line specifically so we can know exactly where to place our poles and anchors so that each lot can be served individually. We like to do that work up front. And typically in the past, we've never had any issue working with developers to do that. That's been pretty standard. If the goal is to build one house, we just need to update that proposal and get that agreement signed to proceed with that. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to protect our ratepayers. What we want to try to avoid is we don't want to commit to building in the property and then later that property be subdivided and then we're stuck with having to make those upgrades ourselves to support a multi-lot subdivision. If we did that, that would be completely borne by our ratepayers, and our ratepayers would be subsidizing Maxie Jones's property. So that's what we're trying to avoid. Another thing we need to consider is that we're bound by a TVA contract that requires us not to discriminate against our customers.
Amen.
So if we make these upgrades on this circuit to support his development without any cost borne by him, anytime somebody else tries to come in and or develop a subdivision, we got to do the same treatment for them. So in theory, let's say a customer wants to develop a subdivision, they just so happen to live on the very fringe of our system with no capacity. No matter how much it costs, no matter what it takes, we would then be required to make those upgrades to serve that subdivision without any cost being taken in from the developer. So we need to be careful about that and consider that. So again, my recommendation is just to have a clear understanding of what's going to happen with the property. If we're going to subdivide it, we need to give a formal aid to construct proposal to Mr. Maxey, so that can be done. If he's just wanting to build a house, we need to have an updated proposal and an agreement executed. So that's all I've got to say about it, and I'll let Mr. Maxey talk to us. Sure.
Go ahead. So that the cost that it would cost the system was $35,000, with the $7,000.
That was to build a line to serve his house, just for one house. Mhm.
Was $42,000.
Yeah.
35 with a contingency.
That's correct.
Into a rock for another.
Yeah, because typically those river lots, they're bad about having a lot of rock in the area, and so if we have to dig a hole in rock to set a pole, it typically takes us about 4 hours to do that, to set one pole.
Next question is, what have y'all done in the past in a similar situation?
We've required an aid to construction to upgrade our line if it's necessary. There's a lot of times where it's not necessary. They develop a subdivision in places where we do have capacity, but in cases where we don't, we've always required an aid to construction, and they've always worked with us to do that.
Y'all been inundated with expenses and spending and collecting and raising rates.
Could you please state your name?
Maxie Jones, 325 Fairway Lane.
Sorry, go ahead.
Here's a $42,000 check. He said the developer didn't pay for their development. That was, I guess y'all got it in $42,888.
I'll clarify that. We did not cash that because part of the stipulation was we wanted the footings to be started and a temporary pole to be set and inspected before we process any payments. Because again, what we don't want to do is accept that payment, build a line in, and if you don't build a house, then we can subdivide it. So that's what we're trying to do.
Y'all deal with facts tonight? Facts are, some of you were here, I think Gabe was here, the last time when I was here 4 years ago. And y'all denied me power. Mr. Brad, that's the first time I've seen him, to be honest with you, but I've talked to him on the phone.
we spoke on the phone.
And he's partly right, but a lot wrong. The subdivision plans you saw were cost me $5 million because y'all would not bring electricity. And they agreed to pay every penny of that subdivision and every one of those lots. I had a contract for the waterfront, and y'all denied them the contract that all they asked for was bring power in at their expense, just like this right here. And your proposal, the $42,888, also come from the previous Mr. Grace. And he agreed in a memo. Do you have that memo?
Yes.
Okay. He agreed to bring me electricity
No, I don't have it.
dated 11/24/20 for $42,888. Had stipulations in it. My wife's got, give me that, and I'll let y'all read what he said. And y'all don't have it. Give me the exhibits. I get a little nervous in the middle of that day when I spend all my money. This is not my writing, this is not my email, it's from the previous Mr. Graves who done a good job for Lexington Electric, done a good job for me. This is not my first time to ask Lexington Electric for electricity, and every time I did, I paid for every pole going into every subdivision we had. I built in your system, probably when you came to work, several in here in Henderson County. They charged me every pole, had to prepay it for every subdivision we did. This piece of property that we asked for permission on, that proposal cost me $5 million. Had a contract, sold from a firm out of North Carolina. That was not my proposal. And you probably didn't understand because you wasn't in your position that you are now. That was a cash transaction. They took their property, money they had set aside to buy my property, went to Savannah, bought a property, cost me to sell. 3 more developers. I advertised this property, sell it as is, war is, came to Lexington Electric. No electrician to the property. Mr. Gabe, right there voting, no electrician to the property, correct? The minute speaks for itself.
Yes.
Mr. Graves come back to the committee. And you read what he said. This is not my memos, this is his memo. If subdividing the property is the goal of you, Maxie Jones, it doesn't say Maxie, it says you. Who is you? I'll say it's me. Or any other owner, it will fall under the seasonal residential, non-residential service policy, which basically states the developer pays an additional $2.25 a foot of primary land to serve the lots that Mr. Bragg talked about. The developer pays it that have been subdivided, and the developer pays additional $25 per lot for the cost of service poles and associated materials. A final survey plat of property lots to be served will be required before LES can give an estimate. We understand that thoroughly. The policy also states that there are situations when the cost of electric services shall be shared by the developer and or the customers requesting service and LES, a three-way partnership. Three-way partnership. I asked 4 years ago for me to pay the $42,888 to get electricity to come to that property. The committee voted no. 4 different times I come back. 4 times. No. I recall after Mr. Graves left, Mr. Bragg came on the scene. My people, my buyers come to Lexington Electric. He just told you what they did. Lexington Electric denied electricity to that property. I wasn't even going to get into this tonight at all, Brad, but y'all brought it up. They have connected 12 new homes in the last 24 months within sight of my property. On the same line that goes right by my property tonight, right as we speak. And denied me electricity and put restrictions on my property that I can't sell it because of no electricity. I'm willing to pay, right there's the check, for what Mr. Graves said he would do. And the first pays that Mr. Jones said he would do, like collect. And if he gives y'all what he had, his proposal was for the same amount of money, but for the service on Campfield Drive down to the end of the road. And he brought up something that I don't know how it has a bearing with electricity, because electric company is not in the business of building roads. I don't know what roads has. Yes, those roads are almost county approved. And reason I do that is because the county requires certain depth, certain width, covers, whole 9 yards to take over any county road. But Lexington Electric's not in business of worrying about roads. It's a right of way they're worried about, and that's what was stated in the proposal. I had to furnish a right of way, clear the right of way, which the right of ways are there. Well, it's got 2.5 miles of road in it that I paid. Willing to pay, there's the check tonight for Mr. Graves' amount, Mr. Jones's amount, Mr. Graves' amount. And all I'm asking is, let my project stand on its own 2 feet. If I'm willing to pay for electricity, y'all been through, you had a man here sitting here a while ago. Now, I do know what those consultants cost, because I have paid many dollars, listen to, telling y'all how to run your business, and then turn around and y'all gonna pay them for telling y'all what you already know. But if you take this information, not mine, Mr. Graves, Mr. Jones's, and he's talking about we have to take care of the customer. I'm a customer. I'm a customer. And TVA, I had a full presentation. I worked for TVA in corporate office. Do y'all know what the REA Act 1936 is all about, right? Are you ready? You know why that was put in there?
Yep.
No.
We can supply electricity at the lowest rate possible.
That's right. But you have to bring it to the customer. They foreclosed on people, run them out of the valley to build dams. But in that, it's a big thick, about 60 pages. If you buy electricity from TVA, which y'all do, you got to carry it to the customer. Bottom line, it's a government, it's a congressional vote that they condemn property in order to put dams on it to make electricity for the valley, 7 states. Literally run people out of the valley. There's a movie on it. But the reason they did it, so that every individual would have a right to electricity at a fair and economical rate. Every one of you in here pays an electric bill. Did any of you pay $2,000 per pole, $2.25 a foot, and run it across your farm to your barn or to your house? No. Developer pays that. Mr. Brad is a young man, respected you. We're not cousins, by the way. But I think we're going to be able to work together. It may sound like developers are evil and they get stuff free. This man right here builds houses. What did it cost him to hook up them houses and utilities? Did it? Right? Did y'all hook his utilities up free? No. Who did? In the presentation Brad made, it may sound like developers just evil people. They just prey on people. It's right reverse, folks. Developers pay for utilities. And I don't mind paying at all, but don't belittle my wife, my projects, my land, and then tell them that I'm not going to pay for electricity when I have paid every project we've done to take electricity to my bike. This project here, I don't know, Mr. Mays is here from real estate company. And I had a full presentation, I didn't want to get into this right here until Mr. Brad made me feel like I was, out of place here. Show that property. Had a contract last October for $5 million on it, selling it as is, where it is. As is, where it is. Y'all know what that means? Just like it is. They come to Lexington Electric. They said there'll never be no electricity on that property. Folks, that's a bad word. I'm not gonna say it. Yeah.
I'm following you. Can I ask Brad a question?
Yeah.
I guess my question is, you said a developer was gonna take it as is, and they pay the cost of getting the electricity.
Every penny. Every penny.
Brad, did you have this before now? From this, for this,
No, it isn't.
this is your first time seeing it?
I don't even know where it is. I can't see where it is. It doesn't sound like anything I've ever.
But for this paragraph, it says, LS is very willing to run the line for your single family dwelling whenever conditions are met. That's one house. And then after that, three. And that's an out. I mean, so that goes back to what Brad said, you don't know what you're asking for. So one single family dwelling is what Mr. Graves agreed to.
But I guess what I'm asking is, it doesn't matter if there's no cost to the electric system.
But it could be. That's what they, there's the
We
main line.
we don't know what the ultimate goal is. We don't know if it's gonna be a subdivided property or if it's a property with one house.
What's the main
We
line?
don't know.
I don't think this is for us to answer. I think, because it's almost like what he said, she said. And to be honest, I don't know enough about it that I can give an honest opinion tonight. I'd like for Ken to dig a little deeper into it. Or if you can,
We just need to know what the plan is with it. If he wants to subdivide it, we can come up with a formal proposal of what it would cost to be able to serve, whatever size development he wants to build. If he's just trying to do one house on it, we can serve one house, but we need to understand that it's not capable, that line we build is not capable of serving 100 lots.
But
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So what you're really telling the board here tonight is you've had the property sold as is where it is, and did you have a contract on it?
yes, sir, $5 million.
And they
And a
signed it,
$100,000 deposit.
and they did the electric company presented that to them?
I don't know about the contract, it was the electric company, there's 4 different developers went here.
I know that what you're telling the board is, they went to the electric
Electric company.
and told them that their proposal was they were gonna buy your piece of property as is. And they would incur all costs to whatever it took the electricity there, is that what we're saying?
That's what they did. And they forfeited in the contract, they forfeited their
That
$100,000.
doesn't sound right to me, because if somebody was gonna pay us to upgrade our line, we would, as long as they're gonna pay it, we
Well, the
would.
reason I'm asking this.
Well, that's just what we said we'd do, Brad.
Is
We
there,
pay all the costs.
For your line, not for the main line. There's a big main line.
Question,
That 42,000 is built one line into the property, that's our.
I can see what you're talking about. Okay, if that land, existing land, Brad, is not capable of how many lots will that land service right now today?
I mean, we don't know that. The proposal was for 108 lots.
That was
And
from
we know
another
the developer
developer.
that
You
could
said
serve
it's
it.
from me. You said that was from me. It was not from me. It was from another developer that was buying the property. And y'all turned him down.
Well, to answer the question, as of July of 2024, we could barely keep the lights on as is with the road that was there now.
Okay, then how did you look up 3,000 plus square foot houses? That's not low.
It's not in the peak season. The summertime is the peak season.
They're under construction as we talk right now. 2 houses going in right down below me, big houses. There's 12 that y'all hooked up in the last 24 months, and we've been talking about this over 4 years. And you told the committee that they didn't have any service to hook up any because of the power on the line was too small. And then you go hook up 12.
And we
after that.
made upgrades to be able to serve those.
Well, okay, y'all, he made upgrades to serve them, but not to me. Is that fair?
Well, if you're proposing to build 100 lots, then we shouldn't rely on the ratepayer.
I did not propose any lots.
So what are you proposing?
What I'm proposing is exactly what I asked for. One service to the end of that road at that price, and that check's gonna cover that cost.
That proposal was made in 2020.
You made it the other day, it's on your,
That was for 49,000.
your proposal was $42,888. Paula, we got it on, you got it in your memo. It's in your memo.
49. I didn't have that.
It's actually not in this one.
It was the same price, Mr.
I've got it.
Here it is, here's the.
$42,888. $35,740 plus $707,148 for the contingent of hitting a rock or whatever.
What's the date on that?
49,968.
That's exhibit B.
July 15, 2020.
My proposal is 2024.
Well, I know we had it here.
But that proposal was just for 1 house. If we need to do a multi-lot subdivision, we need to do more research on that.
And this one here don't even have a date on it. This was the contract that you emailed my office.
This one doesn't have a date.
That's the same, it had the same date on
Power
it.
line
So
distribution.
you're proposing
facilities.
that you want electricity in your house, that's all, you gonna pay for it, right?
Yes.
Now, if any other developer comes in and wants to get electricity, and they got to pay for it themselves, right?
Yes.
Pay for yours, they gonna pay for whatever else they do, right?
Any increase to any line, the developer always pays for it.
And in that agreement, we said that the line we would build would be for that 49,000 or whatever, but if anybody comes in and subdivides it, they would need to be acknowledging that there would be costs incurred for that.
That's right.
That's what the agreement
The
said.
developer understands that.
Well, you didn't sign it.
No, because I want to come over here and see what y'all was going to do, because you condemn a piece of property by putting restrictions on it. Okay, let's just smooth the atmosphere. What will you do tonight? And I'll bring you a check in the morning, bring the electricity.
Well, I need to update the proposal before we talk about it.
What's your- here's the book.
That's a year old.
Huh?
That's a year old
Well, you
project.
just got through saying it was, the one I read was old, and yours was new. What was your
Well,
new
it's new
one?
as of April 2024.
What was your new one?
April 2024.
Okay, and how much was it?
49,000.
Did it change any language in there?
I think instead of 19 poles, it was 21, just because we had that location road.
Okay, so that's 2 more poles, that's 4 more thousand, okay. That's the same price.
I mean, there was a little bit of word difference, nothing major, it was basically the same thing.
Okay. So we're looking at the same price.
Yeah, we were.
You got 2 extra poles, this was 19.
We were proposing to
21.
serve that one house, yes, and we needed the agreement signed.
Okay. Okay, now let me ask just a few simple questions. Has anybody in here, this is a builder, right here. Has electric ever required you to have your footing and foundation down before they bring you electricity?
No.
Why not me?
because we wanted you to commit to building the house and not getting us to build a line in there and then turn around and sell the property and having it subsidized.
So you're restricting my property, controlling my property. Yes, you are. That's exactly what you just told everybody in here. You're controlling my property. You can't do that. Not as a municipality. That is illegal as ever. So, what am I gonna do?
What are you asking for, sir?
I'm asking to give me electricity to my property, and I'm willing to pay, which was the original $42,000, but he added extra poles, which that's extra cost, pay the extra cost, and get electricity to my property as soon as possible.
So one of the things was just added there at the end that wasn't discussed earlier. The electric system is saying you have to put in a foundation before they'll run your electric.
Before they even start, and put a temporary pole and inspect it, and have a footing and foundation poured before they even start or give me approval to bring electricity.
And that's standard of practice.
What's that?
Is that standard of practice?
No, it's not standing. I'm the only one that they, out of hundreds of people I talked to, and here's a builder right here. What is controlling a piece of property without owning it? By,
There's nothing empowered to do it.
I'm gonna see if I can sum this up the best I can, and see if I'm wrong, okay? You're asking the board that you would like to be able to put us approved for him to run electricity, and you would pay what it costs to run electricity down to your property, so you can build a single level. Is that
yes,
correct?
yeah.
Right. And the question, the only thing I see right now is, he sent you a proposal in 24, you have one evidently Mr. Graves give you, and that's what that check is, and that's, I don't know what the date is.
2020.
So we're 5 years later, so we would know that the cost would be somewhat higher than what.
That's what I'm agreeing to.
Well, I'm just trying to sum this up,
Yeah.
okay? So, what I'm really trying to sum this up is then he asked for a letter that you sign saying that you're gonna do a single level dwelling or something like that, is that correct?
The agreement was that we'll build the line into the property at a certain city dwelling, but we need to acknowledge that it's not designed to support a multi-development. So,
My question to you is, he did not sign that letter.
correct.
Right. But if he signed the letter, I'm asking a question, he signed the letter, give you a check for what you proposed, you're going to his law.
Yeah.
Before or after he puts a foundation in?
We need his commitment that he's gonna do it, because what we,
But if he signs the letter,
we're taking a risk that if we just go in there and build a line into the property blindly, don't have anything to connect, then we're risking that he turns around and sells that property off to somebody that will develop it. And then we have a line that's built in there that can't support a subdivision, but we don't have any teeth behind it to say that, at that point, then we're committed, and we've got to upgrade the line on right there now.
so
The builder's gonna pay the cost.
yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
He's paying the cost to build a line from the main line to the property. That's right.
And it only supports this.
Yeah, not making the upgrades to the main line.
They don't do what Brad says, there's an option for somebody else to make Brad have to build a new line. Brad's
And
protecting.
that person that's coming in and building those are not obligated, for the bill.
Well,
That person.
if he was to agree with what we're proposing, then we build a line and start that one house he builds. Now, if he decides he wants to subdivide it, or if he wants to sell the property to somebody else, then we can inherit that with that person later. We don't have to connect anything else until we get an agreement in place to, that if it's gonna be subdivided, then we need to upgrade the main line.
So one last question, then I'm gonna let it go.
Okay.
So he puts a foundation and footers in, you build a line, and he turns around and sells it anyway.
Well, then,
Yeah.
whenever somebody does try to subdivide it, we're not gonna actually connect anything until, the upgrades get made, or until somebody pays us major construction costs.
What you heard?
Exactly that.
What's that?
The foundation.
Are you gonna sign the contract you talking about?
The contract he's got, I wish he'd produce it so we could discuss it tonight.
I say you have a contract.
Huh?
You don't have to talk about foundation.
They don't have it here.
You want to. It's in the change plans.
If you read that contract, you need to read it aloud and see what it says.
Mr. Hodges, can I ask a question? What is the electric department proposing would it take to put electricity to that? So in case a developer decided to develop it, and I've done a lot of development in my life.
First, just station names and record.
Okay. Michael Mays.
Station names.
Okay, I thought it might have been my record. I'm Michael Mays, 7H Realty. And I'm asking Mr. Brandt this, it's a fair question, I think. What would it take to put electricity line? Okay, let's say the plan was 100 houses.
100 houses, there would need to be some reconductoring done on the main line.
Okay. Who would bear that cost?
It would be an AT construction borne by the developer.
Have y'all done any upgrade since the first question in 2020 on that line, period?
Yes, we had to, because we were experiencing electrical.
That's right, that's right. So it's got enough service now to do that because that's how you put up 12 houses. You left me completely out in the dark. The 4 developers come in, 2 hard contracts that I lost my profits. Right, that ain't right.
We don't know, I mean, we would need to actually go back and do a study to see, you know, what it would take to certify this loss. But what we've had in the past, it was not. And I don't feel like we've got now can say that.
Yeah, but you're isolating my specific property. And it's the single best property in the state of Tennessee. Advertised nationwide for $10,990,000 as is. 2 out of 4 of my buyers left because Lexington Electric denied them electricity. I had hard contracts. You mentioned it in your presentation. That was not my contract. That was a group that hired an engineer to come in and engineer those lots out. And y'all told them y'all would not bring that electric to them, period. And they was willing.
The records I have just say that.
Gabe was on one.
Brad has told you the scenario at least 5 times since I've been here. Back then, we gave you a scenario, so it's between you 2 guys. He's giving you proposals. But you have to go by what it says, not angle to try to find to do it the way you want to.
All right, he said, hold on. He said you had it. Can you read it to the court?
I'm not reading anything. I've heard you. We've heard you twice now over the last 4 years. And I understand. I'm actually for you, okay? But you have to play by the rules. And Brad has a lot more knowledge than we are, okay? So I've heard Brad give you at least 5 times tonight
Okay, wait.
scenarios
Hold it right
that
there.
would work.
Hold up right there.
And that's in the story.
Y'all hear what he said? You gotta play by the rules.
That's right.
4 of the rules are me. I'm agreeing to pay, but they're not agreeing to put it in.
Mr. Johnson, again, he said at least 5 times tonight, the scenario, you have to tell him what you want to do. He's got a contract, he's got the numbers, you have to sign the contract. He just says, we'll ask you, just say that.
I just told him in writing what I wanted.
Okay.
And he asked the question here, do I have to put the foot-in foundation in before he'll come in there and take my money and put it in?
And he just told you why.
Is the plan to build a house, a single dwelling?
My plan? I'm almost 73 years old. I shouldn't even be here tonight. Where did this go? But I have paid Lexington Electric. You go back 2 years and see how much I paid. Every time, Brad. Ask the McGee's.
What's the plan with the property? That's all we're asking.
I don't have a plan, but the one thing is selling. Ask Mr. Mays here. He sold a world of stuff for me. I sell property. Ask anybody, even county official in 3 states here.
We're not preventing you from selling.
Yes, you are. You're not guaranteeing people electricity when they come and ask you. You denied four builders.
What are we gonna hook up? We're gonna put power in there and not do anything up.
Brad, the developers pay every bit of your expenses. I love having business where they pay all my inventory, I get to sell it, I get to get revenue off of it, and don't have to do nothing. Just you make my inventory. I don't have to do your inventory. Well, the service is off that money. I got your system right now with bills on it that I'm paying as a customer. The customer's paying you. And the developer has to buy your inventory, the poles, the wire, the electric, and put it in.
If the plan is to sell the property for it to be subdivided, we need to know how many lots it'll be so we can implement our seasonal recreational subdivision policies to build a line in there to support the subdivision. What we proposed to you was a single line to build, or to serve one single home, not a subdivision. We have a recreational policy that Mr. Graves referred to. So if it was to be developed into that, we would implement that policy to build each lot.
Proposal was in the package that was given to us.
Yeah.
The proposal was in the package that was given to us, was dated actually for 2020. Us and then Mr. Graves, this is an example.
But Mr. Brad said he had one.
No, he said it was in the packet.
That's what I'm saying. That's
an example of what I'm
right.
saying.
That's what y'all have to go off. That's what I had.
Here's Jeff Graves' name, and here's your name, and on both sides, whenever you should
Right.
be able to do it.
Right.
That would be in 2020. And then there's price associated with it, with the same price, example what it was. So this would need to be updated to whatever day's date is, with an agreement that they signed and y'all signed to get power. Only stipulation, I think, is right here, is, I don't know, legally, I don't know, but is a single or multi-family dwelling, and what is expected level on it, so he's not out to grow the land. I'm assuming that's what he's asking.
That's
You're willing to pay for him to put that single line down into your house so you can build you a house. Is that correct?
yeah. That's what I asked in the very first proposal.
What I think the board should do is instruct Mr. Brad, prepare that document, send it to you, you sign it, they sign it, and then we vote whether to do it or not, because we do the proper way to do it. Would that be acceptable to you?
I'd like to put that language that Mr. Graves put in there, and on that memo, that and
That's fine, that's what I'm trying to say. If you will prepare a document and present it to Brad, then if he's acceptable with it, then we vote on doing it. I mean, I think we resolve it, we just gotta come up with language that everybody agrees upon, what's to be expected on both parties. We should get this done, but quite evidently, you won't hire your lot. He wants to run it down there to you, and he will be reimbursed for what he does. That's kind of what I hear.
And it sounds like the only difference is he wants you to have a footer and a slab in, and you don't. Is that what you understand?
But
Yeah.
his plan is not to actually build a house on there.
I get it, so I understand what you're saying about the footer and all that.
That's to protect the electric.
Is that what you understand?
I understand it, but what I'm trying to tell you is, the verbiage and whatever both parties sign, it need to be explicit in what you expect of each one of them, and they sign it. That's all it has to be done. It's just like you buy and sell a house, you put the verbiage in there, and you don't take the dishwasher or leave it. That's what you put in here. And you sign it, and you present it to Brad. Brad tells the board this is what he can do, and we vote on it. Mr. Mackey says what he wants, and we vote on that. What the main is the verbiage has to be put in this contract that both parties signed here regardless.
I think that any board, Brad, this is just something Brad can handle. I mean, there's-
I know, but what I'm trying to say is, if he feels uncomfortable with it, we give him the house and say do it. He's uncomfortable with it, but he wants to do it. So what we're trying to say is, we want both parties to come out ahead here. We don't want maybe either one out. He wants to build a house, have it down there. Dad wants to provide him service. We want to get paid for running it down there. I said, we, Baker Company does, and that's what they get. So It's a matter of just, and if we have to, we'll get Ken Walker to draw this thing up, but he was,
He was the one who brought up the first one. That's
well,
what the
then he
committee
needs to
said.
redo this and put the verbiage on.
And
Would that be okay? I'm asking, I mean, I'm trying to work with you.
if the verbiage agrees to give me service and to that Campfield Drive for the additional two service posts, which would be section 479.
That was to build a line to serve that one single dwelling you're talking about, and now you're saying you're not going to do that. So,
Brad, no, I did not. You're getting totally confused. You're trying to run my business and run my project, the development down there. You're trying to run it, and by controlling what I can and can't do, and that's, you don't have that authority. Your authority is to bring the consumer electricity at a fair rate, and that consumer pays you for that. That's it. You can't restrict my property. I can't do this and do that with it. You don't have that authority.
In a bad spot here. Not the mayor. I ain't the vice mayor. This second, yep.
Right, I understand.
And I really wish we were able to, but I will relate all this to Jeff, what we've discussed here tonight. He will get with Ken and Brad, and they will draw this verbiage up and send it to you. If something you want to change in it, you change it, send it back, and then we'll discuss it at that point. Is that okay with you?
That's a good start. It's a good start. I mean, we've been doing it 4.5 years.
Well,
What's
I
another?
think we can resolve it, we just gotta get the verbiage right. If you're willing to do that, we're willing to work with you. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let me pick the check up, though. Let me pick the check up. But the developer always pays the expense.
So what
Water,
I'm gonna do, you
electric,
understand
whatever.
what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna, you, Mr. Mayor.
Wait a day or
Mr.
two.
Reed, I honor Mr. Reed,
Yeah.
and I'll explain to what we discussed and what we're willing to try to do.
We can work it out. Me and Brad work it out. Who's John's voice can work anything out.
We'll get to you.
Yeah.
That fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay.
I'm glad everybody's cool on.
Hey, we'll work with you, don't you, Jeff?
Well, it's just a super piece of property. And,
I've been to Bad Springs, but all I know is that.
well, it's the best piece of property in the state of Tennessee. And if I get electricity in it, Brad will be busy putting electricity in for a paying customer.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming back, Brad, we'll work it out.
Take care.
Appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it, thank you. We got somebody else who wants to address the board about some potholes and limbs or something. I guess not, I mean, I don't think the else knows it, okay? If somebody was gonna talk about potholes and if they're not here then, we'll open up the public comments, if they'd like to speak now, whatever on the face. Adjourned.